Hey, what's up? This is Charles from IGN. I'm here with Anthony.
Hello.
And we are about to play a battle in Total War Shogun II. So before we actually get down on the field, I can wait for weather conditions to clear here, which I will do because I see some fog moving in.
How does weather affect what's going to happen?
I believe it affects archers. Like if it's raining, your archers aren't going to be as effective, especially with fire arrows. So that was a bad idea. So I'm going to wait again, and that actually looks, I should have done that the first time. So here's the little introduction cutscene that just basically shows your general pumping everyone up to fight. I'm not going to bother to watch this.
It shows also what you're mustering on the battlefield as well, right? So if you had like only 4 guys, you would have like 4 little units standing there getting pumped up.
Yeah, that's true. It gives you a nice flyby of your forces, so you get a sense of how big your army is. Although I think that's pretty obvious that I have quite a few people on the field here. I've just grouped all my archers together, which probably isn't the best idea to put them all in one giant group like this.
And right now what we're seeing is the overlapping fields of fire that each unit has, correct?
Yes, those little markings that we're extending into the field of battle. That's sort of the archer range. I'm doing the same thing with my spear, my spear units right now, just so they're sort of all in the same place, and I'm hotkeying them, as you can see on the bottom, when those units flip around, and you can see sort of the 1 hash here, the 2 here, that's control group 1, control group 2. It just makes them a lot easier to select. This guy here is my general, and you can see this sort of circle around him. That's his influence.
His inspiring presence.
Yes, and he actually has an inspire ability as well. That can, this one here, that can make, basically makes people fight.
Because what a lot of people don't
better.
realize is that in Total War games, if you've never played one, morale is like a huge component of it. Whether they're fighting and winning or fighting and losing, these things actually matter. If they're fighting with other units, their morale is higher, they can actually perform better than if they were by themselves and losing.
Yeah. And this battle, I'm unfortunately not going to probably do so well here because I'm fighting a lot of veteran units. And as you can see, they're sort of positioned over there. Now I'm attacking them, so they're going to wait for me. No, I don't think they are. They're moving. Yeah, so they are moving into the trees, and that's bad because then my archers can't see a lot of them. And also I'm on a downslope here.
And enemies get a bonus for charging from a downslope?
If you get charged by cavalry on a downslope, you're going to be in a bad position. So I'm moving my troops a little bit forward here. I've sort of got my elite or better equipped soldiers back here around near my general, just in case they try any flanking maneuvers, which they likely will because they have 4 or 5 cavalry units, which are disappearing into the trees as we speak.
Generally, you don't want to have your general go into battle if you can avoid it, correct?
Yeah, I mean, for some reason he's leading with the horses. I think it's just because they're walking faster than everyone else, but yeah, oops, my archers are not supposed to be up there. Yeah, you want basically your archers to start a fight off so that you can pick away at the enemy while they're approaching, and then the plan is for me to move my spear guys who are here, who are good at
taking on cavalry.
Taking on cavalry specifically. I unfortunately don't have any katana samurai in this particular battle, except for that's not true. I have one division or unit.
Even if you had a really amazing unit, if they take on one unit and win, then if they jump into combat with another unit, they can be less effective because fatigue is also something that matters in Shogun fights.
Yeah, you can see sort of here on this bar readout, you'll get little notifications when your troops are tired, and they basically need to rest. And if it's in the middle of a fight, then you're kind of screwed. So I'm just going to speed this up just so it's not too boring to watch and see if they actually do anything. And the AI seems very content to sit in the tree line and wait for me to do something, which probably makes sense because, again, I initiated the fight. So they're sort of like, you know, they went and took the best positions, and now they're waiting for me to move forward, which I will do. I'm going to walk directly into their trap and take absolutely no proper. I'm not going to try to flank them here because I don't have a lot of speed, unfortunately, just because I only have this one general unit or commander unit. And they're shooting flaming arrows at me, which is bad. I would prefer if that did not happen, but my archers are going to return fire and are also going to shoot flaming arrows. And I'm actually just going to let them do that until...
So Flaming Arrows is a special ability.
Yeah, you have to actually learn that, and you learn that in the campaign map on the tech tree. There we go. So there go my arrows.
Oh, wow.
And it is going to set them on fire. You can see, again, like the graphical detail here is just amazing. Like the fact that there are all of these guys doing all of these individual actions and it's actually running is impressive.
Yeah, each individual guy actually dies and his body stays on the battlefield. So over the course of time, as Charles slowly but surely probably loses, we will see a pile of corpses gather up.
Yeah, it gets pretty gruesome when you start seeing sort of after maybe like a cavalry charge has come across. So I can see the AI is sort of repositioning these guys a little bit.
Morale matters too at some point. Like if they do enough casualties to a unit or vice versa, you will break and they'll flee, correct?
Yeah, if your guys are either outmatched because it's like a sort of a rock paper scissors unit relationship, if they see a lot of their like friendly units dying, basically they will lose hope and they will start. You'll see their little flags start to flicker, and here they are. I don't know if they're actually advancing on me here or what. But yeah, and if they take enough damage, they will flee. And that's another reason it's helpful to have your general sort of in the midst of things, because this radius will prevent them from sort of breaking and running.
So, and also,
I'm going to speed this up just so there's more sort of arrow exchange of fire here.
Speaking more about the environmental tactical sort of benefits, them being in a forest, does that provide some sort of like soft cover to them, like a benefit against your arrows incoming?
I can't see a lot of their units right now. Like there are only a few flags up and they probably have an army that's
Waiting.
Yeah, probably a lot bigger. Yeah, see, you can see them sort of flicker when they're moving around because they pop out of cover. But I'm actually going to move my guys in just to...
Taking it to the trees.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the fight to them right now. You can see my archers still sort of peppering away at them. But yeah, it's about that time. If they were attacking and I was just sort of defending their advance through here, they would make a beeline directly for archers because pretty much everything in the game destroys archers. They can't really hold up too much, and they don't seem to be protecting their guys very well here.
So down there on the bottom, we get an overview of every unit you have. You can see their general, like how they're doing morale-wise, how they're doing casualty-wise, with their overall unit strength. You can also click individual units to give them orders, as opposed to finding and hunting them down on the battlefield.
Yeah, and they're actually retreating away from me, probably pulling me into a bad position. So I'm going to move my archers forward here just to move my missile lines up. And they are reeling around.
It looks like something's happening over there on
Yeah,
your right flank.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff happening.
Oh,
also,
God.
I mean, while you're playing the game, you can also pause at any time in case like things get too crazy, like in this case where you are sort of dealing with multiple fronts of battle.
And issue orders from this menu as well.
Yes, and you can still select, and yeah, those guys are totally exposed over there, so that wasn't a very good idea. But and double click, which lets them sort of run into battle as opposed to just march at a normal pace.
At a consequence of also using more of their like fatigue.
Yeah, they will become fatigued more quickly if you're running around the battlefield. Here you can see one of my my spear guys. They're not doing so well here. Their morale's low. These guys are about to flee.
And if you mouse over them, it tells you how they're doing.
Yeah, if you mouse over, so here are my guys. Oh, no, that's them.
I think it's they're running.
They are winning slightly. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to rally my troops. And you just saw these little sort of green blobs pop up over everything. That means they're sort of encouraged, I suppose you could say. Even though they shouldn't be because they're screwed. Yeah, I mean, you can see their cavalry. This is going to be bad. They're going to run right through everyone here, and that is not going to do well for the morale of these guys. Thankfully, these are spear or samurai over here, but I mean, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, like almost everyone has fled. You can sort of, yeah.
They're routing you, just running you down.
They're running after me here, and just, yeah, this is bad. I mean, that's pretty mean. I don't know if I would do that if I was on the field of combat. I'd probably be like, I'm gonna go back.
If I was your guys right now, I think I would just trip and play dead. Oh.
Also, some of their guys are still. they're in hot pursuit there. Here we see sort of a clashing of spear troops, but again, they're in much better shape than I am.
It is it is really easy in this game just to zoom in and watch what's going on too. 'Cause it looks just so.
Yeah, it's not too difficult just to sort of get caught up in the action. And oh great, they're shooting fire arrows at me again. That's cool. That's definitely what I wanted to happen right there. Obviously, these archers are not happy with that since they're burning alive, and they are almost dead. And pretty much my entire army has been wiped out. So I'm just going to fast forward this until the eventual depressing conclusion where close defeat. I don't think so.
I don't think that was close.
But I mean, you can save your replay here, which like I've got a bunch saved already, but you can, in case you win, I wouldn't recommend saving losses unless you're trying to learn from it.
Exactly. You can also, like you said, watch it to learn what went wrong, what you should have avoided.
Yeah, and that's only a little bit of what Shogun II is. That is just the real-time battle. Here you get sort of the results screen where pretty much everyone got destroyed. You can see all the kills and everything like that. And then, yes, that returns you to the campaign map. So my attempt to take this city, and I mean this army before I took this city, was unsuccessful. So I must rebuild and find another way. So that's a basic overview of how combat works in Shogun II. You know, it's not the simplest thing, but I mean, there are more complicated games out there. And, you know, hopefully that gives you an idea of what works and why the combat is so cool in this game. And for more on Shogun II, stick to IGN.